This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy James.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
This is Lue Cameron, the Overlord, as advertised. And right now you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to the show where it's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. And of course your host, James J. And it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with, as advertised, the Overlord, the best tag team wrestler in Texas, Lue Cameron.
That's fantastic. I like the way you did that. This is, I mean, he pretty much wrote it all down, read it all down. This is Lue Cameron, the best tag team wrestler in Texas, bar none. A member of the most thriving faction in all of Texas, the most dominant group that is coming to last, I'd say, only 10, 15 years, you know what I mean? So I'm very honored. And with that rollout, with that call down, I'm really excited to get this interview started. How you doing today, James?
I'm doing great. I'm with as advertised.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
But can you tell us, before we get started, could you tell us where you'll be aura forming next event-wise?
My next event is gonna probably come out down in the RGV, man. They're long overdue to get farmed out there, man. I'm just gonna come out there with my tag team partner Mo Kelly, and we're gonna absolutely shut down back-to-back dates of tag team wrestling. The first one we're gonna be at I believe it's Evil Masters, and we're gonna be. I don't even know who our opponents are. I'll be honest with you, man. Whoever they are blessed to be in the ring with the best tag team in Texas. And the next day at Combat Call, we're going to be taking on Man and Delin Cavens of Set 6. Now, I've recently been up in Dallas and MPX, and I think I might be there a little bit more because I'm just getting this feeling that they're missing something. You know what I mean? And when I think about my opponents, they too are missing something. About 400 extra pounds if they think they're going to step to me and Mo Kelly. But that's neither here nor there. After that, I mean, man, I've got my eyes on a couple of out-of-state ventures, man. Suffice it to say, I've been looking at home, and for a lot of people that don't know this, home for me is one of two places. It's either Hanover, Germany, the greatest country that's ever been conceived, home of kings and warriors, or South Mississippi. And that has been home for a lot longer, mainly because that's just where I grew up at. And man, I'm just, I've been getting the itch all summer long last year to wrestle in Mississippi, and now it's going to come up on us again this year. So, as the summer approaches, so does my desire to run in and wreck shop. So who knows where you might see me at next when it comes down to that. And like I said, man, keep your eyes on MPX. I got a feeling that I'm about to go over there and shake some things up.
Hell yeah. And where can we find you on social media and merchandise?
For social media and my merchandise, I'm gonna be honest with you, merchandise, you'll be lucky enough to get it when you're in person. But if you're in person at a concert, it's like when I show up, ain't it? But if you're in person at a show that I'm at, man, typically the booth is manned by one of the many people that look up to Lue Cameron and see him as an absolute father figure in this business. If not, you can message me, we can work something out. However, social media wise, you can look up on IG Uncle Lue, ONKEL _LUE. And on Facebook, it's Lue Cameron. I'm only on Facebook to accept bookings. Please don't add me and be weird on there. I don't have an ex yet, you know what I mean? But I'll probably get one of those here soon, as I'm seeing that the opportunity to be great is so wide and so open, you know, and especially in a platform like X where there's so many, you know, so many other people that aren't Lue Cameron that I figure I might just make one. But in the event that that happens, it'll probably be something like Uncle Lou, the same as everything else.
Perfect. And you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's get into it. One of your more recent singles matches was against a one Gary J. Big name on the independents, well known, well respected. And one of the most hard hitters on the indies as well. What was that experience like?
You know, the interesting thing about the match I had with Gary J was that was not going to be the only match I wrestled that day. So the fact that I was able to get through that match with Gary J, no matter win, lose, or draw, whatever, I think it speaks to the testament of my absolute desire to be in this business. And the reason I bring that up is because Gary J is one of those people that in the ring with those strikes, if you're a lesser man, he might take that desire from you, right? He might strip you of that, because Gary J, like you said, he's one of the prolific strikers in this business, especially in the independent scene. Gary J, for all intents and purposes, has my respect because I mean it's what I enjoy doing, right? Something about me that a lot of wrestlers, you know, I'll be honest with you, I don't care if they like it or don't like it. But one thing about me that a lot of wrestlers need to be aware is when I come in there, I'm throwing them hands, man. And Gary J, he stepped up to the challenge, man. He didn't back down. So that was real fun to get to work with Gary. Dumped him on his head a couple times. You know, all is well, all is love. But man, that was a really cool test. If we're being honest, at the end of the day, it was a really cool test of how far I've come from the time that I've debuted. You know, no matter whether it's tag team or solo wrestling, I always like to challenge myself to be better than I was previously. So that Gary J match, that was really nice. It was something that I got to enjoy as I you know, exchanged mitts with the man.
You said you had a second match after Gary, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. After going to war with Gary J, I had to grab my tag team partner Mokele, and we had to ride down to Waco. Well, technically, it was like some country city outside of Waco. I think it was like Axtell or Mission, something like that. Either way, I went down there and I took on Danny O'Ryan and Prince Alexander and defended our HOT tag team titles. Because like I said, I'm the best tag team wrestler in Texas. No matter what I do in a solo match, that tag team title win is a guarantee, right? So, yeah, man, we went down there, you know, covered in glass and bruises and thumbtacks and whatever was in that ring before I got in there. And man, we took it home, bro. You know, it was another one of those things where like a guy like Daniel Ryan, man, is an absolute threat out here on these indies, you know, an absolute star in the making. If the fans aren't aware, Daniel Ryan's, you know, somebody you should keep your eye on. But I mean, so is Prince Alexander, right? Like Texas is rock full of like top tier talent. And then there's Lue Cameron, who's like a little bit above them all. You know what I mean? Nah, all shit aside, I do always enjoy the opportunity to work in that like fast pace. Like, you know, there's nothing fun about having to go from city to city in the same day. But for me, there's a level of like prestige in being able to do that and being able to pull out a show that the fans aren't going to be disappointed in when you do have that opportunity. So, you know, yeah, it was fun. It was stressful as hell, but it was fun.
I mean, how was you feeling after the Gary J match? You know, wrestling Gary J is a warrant to take the next day off, and literally you're wrestling like hours later.
Listen, when I got done wrestling Gary J, I was just glad I had an hour and a half drive in between the two places I had to be. And like I said, it was a tag team match. So luckily for me, I had help in there. But listen, let me not downplay Gary J, man. Gary J beat the absolute dog shit out of me. Sorry, pardon my French, right? But Gary J, he went to war with me. So it wasn't an easy day in the office by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just, like I said it on other shows, on other podcasts, man, you're going to have to kill me if you want to take this from me. And when I say that, I mean this wrestling dream, right? This wave that I'm currently riding on, that I'm grateful and blessed to be on. Man, I don't know that I'd be able to accomplish this twice in a lifetime. So for me to back out of any, challenges, if you challenge me for a championship match and Gary J challenges me and Brick Savage challenges me, I guess I got to go fight 3 times. You know what I mean? Like I can't back down. But I mean, at the same time, there's never like an easy day in the office that I've experienced, especially not in, from 2025 on. There've all been pretty prestigious matches, if not, with accredited talent. Like, I faced guys who wrestled in Japan. I faced guys who wrestled on GCW, what I'm saying? Gary J, one of them. And, being able to step up to these challenges and meet them head on has always been something that I've thrived to do. With that said, I don't feel like I'm ever done growing in that facet. So, just meeting the challenge is one thing, but one day I hope to be able to say, yeah, I beat Gary J, fucking clean, dropped him on his head, took the pin, took the win, went home. You know what I mean? That wasn't the case the first time, but, I feel like I hope Gary J has a little bit of respect for me. If not, fuck it, let's run it back. Fuck it, if he does have respect, let's run it back, bro.
Well, at the top of the show, you mentioned, wanting to wrestle in Mississippi. Have you, correct me if I'm wrong, but you haven't wrestled there yet, no?
So it's actually a tricky thing, right? Because initially, so a little bit of lore drop. I was trained 2 times essentially. The one that really stuck was the one in Texas, but in Mississippi, I was trained by one Wes Adams. He was a referee in WWE at one point, and then he lost his job unceremoniously. It was a long story, a long drawn out thing on the internet back then, but I say all that to say, Wes was really pivotal in guiding me and helping me grow and keeping my love for wrestling alive. Because in Mississippi, there's just not a big a scene as there is in Texas.
Right.
That's one thing that's just Texas, man. Texas is basically in the wrestling DNA, right? Like at least American wrestling, it's in the DNA. Like my father wrestled in Texas. Like he took on Kerry Von Erich and whatever else, like I'd have to really look at his cage match. I'll be honest with you, I don't know all the matches he had. He wrestled in a time where I don't think YouTube was even a concept. You know what I mean?
Right.
Stampede Hall of Fame type deal. But I say all that to say, Mississippi was where the dream, I guess, essentially started. Right, my father being from Mississippi, that's where I ended up at. So then I started training with Wes Adams at Power Slam Production, and I say all that to round back to technically I have wrestled in Mississippi, but not in the current era, right? Like when I wrestled in Mississippi, I was green as fucking grass, and like I was not Lue Cameron. Does that make sense? Like the product that I have to present to the world now was nowhere near as refined back then. Like it was lost tapes, lore type thing, right? Like one day, hopefully the footage doesn't come out, but if it does, we'll probably all watch and be like, damn. But yeah, no. So with that said, there is a couple of promotions down in Mississippi that I have had an interest in working in. A couple that spring to mind. There's one that's been around for a long, long time, SWA, which is interesting because I wrestled in the SWA in Texas, but it's Savage Wrestling Alliance here. I believe that over there it's Southern Wrestling Association. So that's somewhere I'd like to get my foot in the door. I believe there was something on the coast called Diamond Pro Wrestling. I'm just, I'm trying to bring it back home because for a lot of people, especially the people that grew up in Texas, that started wrestling in Texas, they and I'm not saying this is like a slander or nothing, but they didn't really have to like miss the opportunity to have their family and friends watch them wrestle because they kind of could just pull up if they wanted to. I've had to make majority of my career without anybody that's known how much this really means to me, being able to see it. Like my mom came out for a match, like my first match, but like that's the last time I got anybody that was related to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, this is like it's a big goal to make it to Mississippi, and it's a big opportunity if I do get it, to stake my claim and hopefully make sure that they understand what they're missing over there. And I don't mean this in no egotistical manner or anything like that, but just maybe I can bring something to the product, to the state that they can appreciate, you know. And if that's the case, then hell, put my name in any of the hats. You know what I mean? Let me show them what we can do over here. And also because I'm Lue Cameron, Mr. Live League, Mr. As Advertised, the best tag team wrestler in Texas, the Overlord. You know, I'm gonna have to make another one. All these statements I'm making, man. You know, call me the statement maker. Fuck it, call me the statement. You know what I mean? As it goes. But yeah, no, that's kind of the thing with Mississippi. I'm really hyped and I'm really interested in the wrestling there. And I just want to show my family and friends what all I can do.
I'm more than sure you haven't wrestled here, and that is, you know, where you were born, Germany. Is that a goal to wrestle in Germany as well?
That is one of my biggest goals, if I'm being 100% honest. Being that my father, when he passed, it was in a ring in Germany. It was in CWA, ran by Otto Vance at the time. But my father passed in the ring wrestling Tony St. Clair. Tony was a family friend. And it's just one of those things where I feel like, you know, it's a good way to close the chapter on something that I feel is like an ugly blight on, you know, not just our family legacy, but kind of like an ugly way for him to have left the business and the world in general. Like there's a million worse ways to go. Like dying doing what you love is cool. But at the same time, I do think that, you know, getting to close that chapter, because a lot of this business for me, a lot of this career that I've taken on, it revolves around my father and, you know, trying to essentially give him the accreditation that, you know, I feel like he deserves, because I feel like, you know, for whatever factors, which I'm not going to get into right now, but he's just not as talked about as maybe somebody who would have done the same things that he did in this day and age would have been. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Stampede wasn't the local indie, and beating the British Bulldog wasn't like wrestling somebody's uncle in a garage. You know what I mean? It was things that should be held with a little bit more prestige. And I feel like over time, hopefully, my work can help draw attention to him. But yeah, Germany is one of those things I have to do mainly for him.
I mean, it sounds like you're taking up, you know, a big responsibility, you know, not only, you know, building your own legacy, but trying to, you know, secure your father's legacy as well, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that's the only way to really approach something like pro wrestling is that you got to have a why, right? You got to have a bigger why than I want to make money or and I want to be a star, right? Like, I think it was Khabib Nurmagomedov. Once upon a time, they were talking about, you know, why he does this, or he was on stage talking to, I think it was Max Holloway. You know, basically just the difference is for him, oh, it was Tony Ferguson. The difference for him and other people is it's legacy for him. And I can kind of relate to that because for me, it's like at the end of the day, the money made along the way, that's cool. And that's like part of business. But in the greater scheme of things, I have a legacy that I'm trying to build. And if I can't do that, if I can't leave something worth talking about in this square of wrestling, then I'm wasting my time. And I refuse to just be here wasting my time. So I figure put that big pressure on my back so I have to act accordingly. Otherwise, you know, I have a reason to, you know, be less than.
You know, for anybody that doesn't know, Lethal Larry Cameron, is your father.
Mm-hmm.
You are Lue Cameron. Was it always in your mind to take up the Cameron name as a pro wrestler, or how was that process? How did that process come for you?
Okay, so once upon a time, I thought that attaching myself to my father's name would have been a bit, you know, it's one of those things where I wasn't always up for the challenge. I can be open and honest here. There was a time where it really was just overwhelming, man. My father was also a bodybuilder. I believe he went for Mr. Minnesota. I say all that to say, like, I had an old bodybuilding shirt of my dad's, and I put it on one time, and I looked in the mirror, and I realized how much smaller I was than him. And somehow in my head, it just clicked, like, damn, that's always going to be it. That's not the case. Like, my dad was 6 foot, I'm 6'2". I think I'm a little bit taller at the very least, right? But at the end of the day, it's one of those, you know, it becomes a psychological game of like, can you match what was done. You know what I mean? And you know, it's a short career that he had. 6 years, I think, but like in those 6 years, he really did a hell of a job, right? A lot better job than I think I'm doing at times. But at the same time, I hopefully have a little bit more time, and hopefully, what I'm doing can translate to making him proud and making the name mean something. Because if not, then I definitely did a wrong choice by choosing to live up to his name. Um, at one point I would have just been Lue, no Cameron. But I mean, I'm not I'm not content living a coward's life. So I'm gonna take that risk and I'm gonna, either I'm gonna make it great or I'm gonna be a great big disappointment. And so that's kind of my thinking with it. But yeah, once upon a time, man, I wasn't as confident to take up the Cameron name, but not everybody gets the opportunity to be a second generation wrestler. Not everybody has a pretty solid foundation as a second generation wrestler. There's a lot of guys who have kids who want to wrestle, but a lot of guys just have whatever careers. I mean, hell, I'll probably be one of them if I'm not careful. But it's a big challenge, man. It all goes back to the why. The why am I doing this? Well, because I want to be, worth the syllables Lue Cameron. I don't want to just be, oh yeah, that was another guy who had a cool moment, then he didn't exist anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I got you. Right. Well, I mean, definitely building a legacy. Best tag team wrestler in Texas. And you can't talk about, tag team wrestling without talking about your other half. Can you tell us about your tag team partner and Kamikaze Click, Mo Kelly?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So the interesting thing about the Kamikaze Click actually is that it completely came up because there was a timeline where basically me and Mo weren't getting the bookings that we weren't getting no bookings in Austin really outside of the school we were going to, and so we decided that we were going to go down to San Antonio, and one thing led to another. We were in a place where we could really kind of I guess the good word for it is experiment. You know what I mean? And so me and Mo had faced each other like all across Texas and even in Tennessee and Kingsport, right? Like we've beat each other up to the point where like we know what we bring to the table, and our chemistry was so good that like let's try our hand at this tag team thing, because there's also me personally as a man who does enjoy tag team wrestling, there's a significant like deficiency of tag teams in Texas. And I'm not talking about two thrown together guys, or I'm not talking about two guys who only got trained in tag team wrestling. I mean, two efficient wrestlers who, as a solo unit and as a team, are efficient, right? Like they can do all elements of it. Like in my personal opinion, just because you're a tag team wrestler doesn't mean that that's where your goal. I mean, that's where you're not goal, but like your ceiling shouldn't be, oh, I can only do half my moveset, right? Like if you take me out of tag team wrestling, I still have a whole moveset. You take Mo out, he still has a whole moveset. But we also know how to move within the confines of tag team wrestling. And I say all that to say, Mo Kelly and me, we started tag team wrestling down in San Antonio, and then it kind of just snowballed. Like people saw the clips, and they liked the energy, the vibe, and eventually became undeniable. Like they called us down to wrestle in the Valley, and then eventually they brought us back to Austin. There was a company, it went kind of dark recently, called All Fury Pro. Shout out Jacob King. But they gave us the opportunity to run Paradigm the first time, right? So it started out with the Kamikaze Click, which was me and Mo Kelly, but we'd always kind of worked with one of my classmates from when I first started, Ethan Hunter, phenomenal talent as well. And so we'd all three, between the three of us, had teamed and like done triple threat. I mean, not triple threat, done 6-man matches. And so it kind of just became like a no-brainer, right, to go from the Kamikaze Click, which was just me and Mo Kelly just honestly just whooping ass and looking cool. And then we added Ethan Hunter in the Paradigm, and then I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, or whoever has been keeping up with it, but we recently added Bull Madrid a few months back, and he's absolutely killing it. We're always growing. And that's something that's very important for people to take note. Paradigm is not in its final form yet, man. I'm not content. I think that there is more land for us to claim. And I do believe that before the end of 2026, you will see it kind of fleshed out to its full final form. And by that time, everybody else is kind of fucked. You know what I mean? But like within Paradigm right now, from the top to bottom, you got Mo Kelly, my tag team partner, the best tag team partner a guy can have. Honestly, right now he's kind of breaking out with deathmatch wrestling, and granted, we did lose the Baracho Pro Tag Team titles, and he did get pinned, and it was him twerking that led to it. But that's not to say that we're not, gonna hell, we're not gonna not come back for our championships, right? Just we gotta figure out some things there. But I mean, as I sit here, I'm looking. I still got 3 tag team titles on my mantle right now, right? We're still the Blackbird Tag Team Champions, which on March the 7th, Bull Madrid and Mo Kelly are going to defend those. Which that's a Paradigm party right there, and they're going against Pico the Gallo and Babyface JR, 2 little creepy little weird, you know just 2 characters, really. And then, Toxico and some dude that looks like he plays a lot of, what's that game where they're in the desert? Emote and Joe. Was that
Borderlands?
Yeah, what Borderlands is based off of? Hell, I don't know.
What is it called? Mad Max.
There it is. There it is. There it is. But yeah, man, they're going in there and they're gonna defend our tag team titles again. And like I said, before then, me and Mo are gonna be in the Valley defending the Combat Cold Tag Team Championships. We just defended the HOT Tag Team Championships against the Born Haters, which are like a staple of Austin, Texas wrestling and heavy metal wrestling for certain. And then we took on the Pretty Badass Riot Party at the same time, which if you're aware of tag team wrestling in Texas, which it's small, but like those guys are on the come up, and honestly, 2 people I think that you should definitely watch: Rollo King and Armani Sage. But they're not the Kamikaze Clique. They're not Paradigm. And at the end of the day, the same thing that happens every time happens, and they got folded, and we kept our belts, man. So you take away the twerk and we get the work in. There's no way you can beat us. That's just how it is. So my tag team partner is like I say, he's the best tag team partner a guy could ask for. But what makes me the best tag team wrestler is that I can team with other people and bring home belts, because that was the case with the HOT Tag Team Championship, right? Me and Matt Locke brought that one home, and Matt Locke's had 3 belts at HOT ever since. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of cool, but I'm just fortunate to be around so many capable tag team partners.
Well, first and foremost, what's a pet peeve about Mo that you just don't understand?
The twerking, the dancing, the fan service. I will never understand it, and I will never try to, because at the end of the day, I know, right? I was there when the Kamikaze Clique formed, and I know what won us our belts, our multiple championships, and it was never twerking. And he seems to he really likes it, man. He really likes doing it, to the point where it's like, it becomes annoying. I'm all about letting people live their life, bro. But if you start twerking mid conversation, like we're having real conversations with sponsors and bookers, and you want to shake ass, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, you mentioned, Bull Madrid coming in a couple of months ago. What did you guys see in him that gave him the nod to say, yeah, come into Paradigm?
Bull Madrid is one of those cases where he has everything that he needs to be great, everything that he needs to push any show forward. Sometimes all people need is the right, experienced minds around them Because here's the thing, right? A guy like Bull Madrid, he's gonna go in there and he's gonna smack the taste out of the favorites of all the people, right? Like that's how this works. Bull Madrid is gonna go in there and wreck shop. The problem is when you have a guy like Bull Madrid, some people get, hesitant. They don't know what to do. Hey man, is Bull Madrid gonna, is he gonna deliver? And I'm here to tell you, Bull Madrid's not only gonna deliver, but he's gonna be a fucking star. And I wrestled Bull Madrid, I'd say 2 times before we introduced him in the paradigm, because me personally, I believe in we got to see what you're all about firsthand. And Bull Madrid delivered every bit of the qualities that everybody else in paradigm has. Mo Kelly and me, Ethan, we're sound strategists. We have a level of power, and it's unique, right? Like we're not all just the same type of brute. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own psychology, their own physiology, and their own understanding of how this business works and what they will do to win. And when you apply that to how me, Ethan, and Mo see the world, it's just another perspective, and B, it's another weapon. You know what I mean? It's another weapon in the holster. And why would you not want friends when you're successful? Like, who wants to sit here and be successful alone?
Right. So basically, you had to fight him before you could see if he could fight beside you.
Absolutely. For lack of better terms, essentially, man, if you want to end the paradigm, you're going to have to go to war with somebody in paradigm. I don't care if it's 1 time. I don't care if it's 4 times. I don't care if it's 2 times. But if we can't gauge what you actually bring to the table, why would we want it? You know what I mean? Like there's a couple of guys, that we faced on the circuit that, have really impressed us. I'm not going to drop too many names here, but if you watch our social medias, if you watch the Paradigm in 5 IG, you'll see little hints. And I feel like by the end of the year, everything will make sense to the people that have been paying attention, and the people that haven't been, they'll see a product that reeks of awesomeness to steal from Edge, right? But at the same time, it's going to be something that shows that this is straight main eventers, right? The one thing that I hate about factions is sometimes factions have this feeling that everybody is, ordained to be in a specific role. Like, oh, these people can only do this, these people can only do that. I don't want that, right? I don't want Paradigm to ever play the role of like, oh, this is the proverbial, he can only be, mid-card, straight shooter champion because he doesn't have the qualifications to be a main eventer. That's bullshit. Nobody in Paradigm lives like that, right? Like everybody, in my opinion, that we have on our roster is a certified main eventer. You can put a world title on them and they will carry that, right? And if you don't believe when we first add them, just wait. So far everybody has been a top champion that has joined Paradigm, whether that be at AAPW or whether that be SWA. Everybody has been a solo champion that has been at the top of the card, and that's just that's not a happenstance. That's not an accident, and that's also not a coincidence. We're cut from a certain cloth. And to be a member of Paradigm, if you're not built like that, then, unfortunately, it's just not going to happen for you. But hey, it's okay. Because if everybody was doing it, it wouldn't be special.
Now, maybe these people aren't proper members of Paradigm. Maybe they're honorary members, Paradigm adjacent. I don't know. You tell me. Tina Nix.
Tina Nix is probably the only woman Paradigm member that I could conceive. Like, I mean, listen, the division, the women's division in Texas is full of absolute steppers. Mm-hmm. There's some certified stars. Like, I mean, we've just recently seen Maya World get signed on to AEW, Ring of Honor. And like, I remember being in the same Inspire locker room as My World and thinking like, oh man, she's pretty good in that ring. And then little did I know, not only is she pretty good, she's really fucking good. She's so fucking good, she got signed, right? And I think that's not just that's not something that comes by accident. That's hard work. That's dedication. I feel like a lot of the women in Texas wrestling, they understand that, that's what it's going to take. There's no easy shortcuts. You have to work your ass off to be somewhere. And Tina Nix, I feel like Tina Nix has all those qualities as far as like she knows what the mission is. Me personally, I think that maybe she doesn't oftentimes get the opportunities to be in these shots that offer you the stamp of, okay, they are that good. But Tina Nix being a member of Paradigm hopefully will change that for her, because I'll be honest with you, she's probably one of my favorite female wrestlers that I've ever seen. She honestly, she reminds me a lot of myself. But yeah, Tina Nix, Paradigm.
Dan the Man.
Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Dan the Man was lucky to have Paradigm beside him when we went to the cookout. We really just wanted to go to the cookout. Dan the Man had an invitation and we showed up. Hell no.
Okay. And your other tag team champion, tag team partner, Matt Locke.
Matt Locke and me, we got something going where it's like that's like my twin, man. You know what I mean? I feel like honorary would not be a stretch. I feel like it wouldn't be a stretch to say he's an honorary Paradigm man, but I also feel like me and Matt Locke just kind of be doing me and Matt Locke shit, right? Moby coming over there, and Ethan when he's around, but like, I don't know if I would say that's 100% Paradigm more than it's just, me and Locke tearing shit up. But I mean, hey man, if the day ever comes that Matt Locke looks me in my eyes in the back of a locker room and says, Lue Cameron, I want to be in Paradigm, I'm gonna look at him, I'm gonna say, no, I'm kidding. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I mean, speaking of Matt Locke, yous were able to be in a match against the legendary deathmatch wrestler Masada. What was that like, being in the ring with Masada?
Oh man, that was really cool. I wrestled in that match actually Masada and Akira, another deathmatch legend, and I really enjoyed being able to mix mitts with those guys. Two hard motherfuckers, if I'm being honest, and I took that as an opportunity to really measure myself. Masada's no joke. He's gonna bring that to you, man. He did a fucking senton off the second row, damn near knocked the wind out of me. You know what I mean? But he's one of those guys where like, hey man, if it wouldn't be my nickname, I'd say Masada is definitely the definition of an as advertised individual. A threat in that ring, man. But fuck, it was for me not even being from Texas like that, right? And knowing the level of, prestige that comes with wrestling, Masada, Akira, people who have bled and made a name not only in this state but outside of it and brought it back. Man, I was honored to be able to share the ring with him. I would do it again. It's just, that time I was thankful that Matt Locke was there, because fuck, that's both of them. You know what I mean? That's both of them right there. But I ain't never want to back down either. So at the end of the day, if it's 2-on-1 and Matt Locke says I got to fight it by myself, then fuck, are we in there? But I mean, it didn't, luckily, and at the end of the day, it was a hell of a match.
Well, I mean, not technically a death match, but one of the more brutal matches out there. You were in a dark color match against Dimitri Alexander, no?
Yes. That was my first match that had anything other than just regular wrestling. In the sense of like, the dog collar being implemented. Like before that, I was just regularly doing 1-on-1 matches, 2-on-2 battle royals. But having that, and once again, Dimitri, another person who's really made a name for themselves, and he's fucking everywhere these days. Dimitri's in Japan a lot. He's in Australia. He's doing a lot. And man, I was really happy to get to have that match against Dimitri and beat him, no less. So that was probably one of my favorite matches of my young career because it was the first non-AAPW student as well. Like Dimitri was, a full-fledged wrestler from I believe he trained in Oklahoma. So there wasn't no safety net essentially.
I got you. Well, I mean, like I said, one of the more brutal matches, Dark Color, you're wrestling deathmatch guys regularly. I mean, Dimitri, Masada, more recently Gary J. Can we see Lue Cameron in a deathmatch wrestling setting?
You know what? I don't think that's an insane question or an insane scenario to see Lue Cameron in deathmatch. I think when the time is right, you will most certainly see me in a deathmatch. Hell, you probably see me in a couple. However, I do respect deathmatch wrestling, and I respect what goes into it. And as a person who has one mission going on right now, I can't say that I'm in the current position to just deviate and do on a Lue Cameron have fun glory run, because that's most definitely going to be what it's mainly about for me at that point, having a hell of a time. But I mean, to be honest with you, man, probably sooner rather than later you'll end up seeing it. And the day that it happens, I'll send you the link first for the tickets.
Hell yeah! I mean, it's gonna be quite a distance for me, considering I live in Los Angeles.
Hey, we'll never know if you're down here, man. Maybe you'll get lucky and be in the area. Maybe you'll be in Los Angeles. Who knows?
That would be really convenient for me. Oh, but that would bring me to that segment once again, Lue's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Weird things on the road. Man, I'll be honest with you. The worst thing that typically happens is, I mean, it's not even so much weird. It's just like a consistent thing that I've had to just kind of get used to is when we go down to the RGV and you come back through and you have to go through Border Patrol. It feels like the first time that I ever went through, they asked more questions, but nowadays I go and they say I'm wrestling and there's like no, you know what I mean? Like there's no hold up. They look in the car, they see the size of me and Mo and typically Ethan and all our luggage in the back, and they're just like, "Oh, happy to see you." Which, like I said, that's not a weird thing. It's nothing crazy. It's just I never thought that I would so consistently be passing through the border. If that makes sense. Like I didn't think that would be a consistent thing I would be dealing with. I got one for you. The weirdest thing that happens to me is when after a show, I'm trying to go to my merch and check how much money we've made. And one of these mayonnaise eating Waco fans walks up to me and tells me that them or somebody that they're acquainted with finds me particularly attractive. I get offended. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get downright offended. Like, oh my lord, you think that we're in the same fucking conversation? Like, what have I done wrong? Oh man, hell no, I can't. I can't continue like this. Oh man, no. I mean, shit. Wrestling is just one of those things where, like, every time you're on the road, you get an earful of so many like tales and like other people's business that you're just like, Jesus, I'd rather take a nap. But then you pull up, and you're at the venue, and you might have some strange happen, like, hey, so and so pulled from the match. Can you do two in one night? And now you're like, literally having to go from opening the show to like holding all the way through to the main. And that's, once again, that's not a weird or strange thing. It's just I never thought in my life before wrestling that I'd have, it's like when you go to the corporate world and they tell you that you're going to work a job, you have a boss there that will sometimes give you a little bit of extra, right? I've never seen it happen so much as in wrestling. Like in wrestling, you come in for a one match slot and you end up in 3 different segments and you're like, yo, what the hell did I do? What did I sign up for? I hope they're gonna pay me more, man. Like I was hoping to get to talk to my fucking loved ones after the match. I'm in the rest of the card. Like Jesus Christ. But hey man, that's suffering from success. So I can't really even be mad about that.
Hell yeah. So you're saying that somebody tried to shoot their shot with Lue Cameron?
Hey, you know what, man? You'd be more surprised if I told you how many times it happens, man. And honestly, I'm not opposed to it. Like I'm not no hater of fun. But just sometimes I'm just like, whoa, hey, I don't know if I want you talking to me. Like I'm really just here trying to get my merch sales. Like, leave me the fuck alone. But I mean, pardon my French once again. Um, yeah, man. They try, and sometimes they succeed. What can I say?
I mean, as long as nobody's offering to buy your socks, I think you're in the clear.
Listen, if someone wants to buy my sweaty ass socks, you let me know. 150 today. We'll do it. Oh, shit.
Well, can you tell us about your tattoos and if they have any significant meaning?
Yeah, absolutely. So, on my left arm, I have the word "dope" written on my wrist, which I really just do that. Did that as a like an impulsive tattoo when I was younger. My nephew, not my nephew, my he's like my brother, man. R.I.P. Sam. He had a tattoo gun and he wanted to, make a couple bucks, and so, I threw him some money so he could paint. I mean, not paint, so he can tattoo me, and it was going to be a bigger thing. And then I was like, oh, you're kind of untrained. So I just let him do that one and, kept my word with him. But it was sentimental to me now because he's passed. So I won't get it covered up or nothing. It'll just be there and perfect forever. On my forearm, I have the country of Germany with the flag over it because I am very proud of the heritage that I possess and where I come from. And I also have the Imperial Eagle on the front, which once again, that's just a homage to Germany. On my calf, I have a crucified voodoo doll, meaning not not much, honestly, man. I drew it when I was 16 years old, and it was my first tattoo ever. And I could say it has a bunch of meanings that I thought of when I was 16, but I mean, who knows, man? Who cares? Um, I got a I got the word later tattooed on my wrist, and when you flip it, it's a 187. Once again, I was 16 years old once, man. You know, and I'm one of those people, man. I don't feel compelled to get that covered up either because like it's authentic to me versus like me trying to go and get a Sailor Jerry tattoo just to have that aesthetic. Like I'm cool on it. Like the day comes that I need to cover it up, I'll do that. Until then, it is what it is. And then on my face, I have my father's death date and the Black Rabbit of Inlay, which is the Black Rabbit of Death from Watership Down, which is one of my favorite childhood movies. And I got that because once upon a time, fun lore drop, I got hit in the head with a hammer. Man tried to take my life, and I survived that. But I felt that my movie star good looks had been compromised, so I went and got me a face tattoo on the other side to kind of take away the focus. And nowadays, people don't even recognize the scar on my side, so I feel like it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would I would definitely say that. Right, so Lue Cameron and death matches before he got into pro wrestling.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I respect what comes with the idea of a death match, man. As a person who, as a person who's had a little bit of a hardcore background, I definitely, wouldn't do a death match with anything less than the absolute intent to kill on my mind. But yeah, Lue Cameron, hardcore since day one, since before the first wrestling match.
And that'll bring us to the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Okay. First 3 songs in my movie soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I kind of already got it. It would be. We're gonna open up with Kevin Gates. Wish I Had It, because it's a classic.
Okay.
We're gonna transfer over to Trouble Man by Marvin Gaye. And then we're gonna end it out on this is the first 3 songs, right? We're gonna undoubtedly have a scene where it's gonna need OG Mako, Undefeated. Undoubtedly. If it's about my life, it's undoubtedly gonna need that.
Okay. I mean, you had those ready to go.
Oh yeah, man. I had those on the top of my head. These are songs that like I've came out to OG Mako before, because it like I said, it's something that I know embodies my life and the life that I've lived. And other songs that I would be interested in coming out to, but like that's basically how I look at it. Like, what is my theme for my life or my movie? And that's basically how I pick any song that I put, whether it's a edit or me to come to the ring. It's always based in something.
All right. Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Who plays me? Kevin Gates.
Okay. So Kevin Gates in the soundtrack, Kevin Gates in the actual movie.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, I don't even care if the acting is good. You're like, I want the moment where Kevin chopping people in the chest. You know what I mean? I want that moment to see that because I think that would be man, that'd be great to see, bro. I see that brother slap somebody across the chest, bro. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm absolutely here for it.
Now every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people significant to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
Okay. So, all right. Hold on. So, damn. First, I would pick Mo Kelly.
Okay.
He's definitely going to be in there. Who plays Mo Kelly? You know what? I might have to circle back to that one. I'm Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put Ethan Hunter in there.
Okay.
Just because I have to have the original members of Paradigm. If I was to put Ethan Hunter in the movie being played by, I don't know, man. Probably like, I don't want to say Tom Holland. It's too obvious and easy. Give me Daniel Radcliffe. You know what? No, give me Rupert Gint. Give me what's his name in the movie again? Ron. Give me Ron from Harry Potter as Ethan. He's not a red-haired kid, so he'd have to like get a blonde buzz. But give me Ron from Harry Potter. Let my dad be played by like because he'd have to be in there. I want my father to be played by like, I don't know, man. Somebody really cool. You know what, man? Make Michael Jai White play my father.
Okay.
I want him to look impressive and amazing on camera. And Michael Jai White's huge. And then you know what, man? You know what? Let me. Oh man, I was about to say, let me get Mo Kelly as who would just fit that. I'm not trying to be funny here, but he's a funny guy, man. You ever seen that show? Unbreakable with Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix?
Yes.
Who was the guy, the bald headed guy in there? Her friend.
Tyrus, I want to say.
Yes.
Titus Bogus.
Yes, the guy who plays him. That guy. Okay. I don't know his name. Titus. I don't know his. Oh, that's his name? Titus?
That's his real name, Titus, yes.
Give me Titus as Mo Kelly with a dread weave wig on. Give me Ethan Hunter as Rupert Gint, and give me Michael John White as my father. That and Kevin Gates is me. That is the scenes that I'm looking for, man. That's
all right. Well, this is definitely sounding like a great movie, a blockbuster to say the least. And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Man, I would give me the whole theater, bro. I'm buying the whole thing.
Now, on to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
You know, man, there was a time where I was very anti-pineapple on pizza. As I grow up, I just don't like pizza no more, man. I don't even like pizza at all. Nah, man, if people want to put pineapple on their pizza, that's cool. It's not the worst thing that you could do. You put anchovies on your pizza and we're gonna have a fucking conversation. Okay. But pineapples on pizza is all right. You know, I'm not gonna mind that.
All right, so more pro pineapple than anti. But if you have anchovies, hands are gonna be drawn.
Yeah. If you have anchovies on that pizza and you open it up in front of me, expect the pizza to go to the wall. We're done. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna be bringing anchovies, into a pizza party. You have no class. Your parents raised a barbarian.
What's your spirit Pokemon?
Man, never been too big into Pokemon, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Primate, man. Mankey and Primate. Throwing hands.
Okay. Now, we love the late, great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Doug? THUG.
Hold on, I heard it. Oh, damn. Give me one. What the fuck was it?
Do you need some help?
No. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, give me a help.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail, 'cause a Doug can't spell.
Can't spell. Yeah. Okay. See, I knew that last part had something in it because I always thought like, oh, that's fine because a thug can't spell. Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I need to get more up on my Tracy Smothers because he sounds like a hilarious guy.
Oh yeah. We've had some interesting Tracy Smothers stories on the show. And I would definitely recommend buying his book. If you don't buy this book, everybody you know dies. That's the actual name that's the actual name of the book.
That's fucking grade A marketing because, like, I don't want my friends to die. Actually, you know what, Tracy? I'm gonna call your bluff. I'm not buying rest in peace, Tracy. I'll buy the book. I'll buy the book because I didn't offhand know the acronym, and I feel like that's blasphemy. So, I owe you one, Tracy.
Now, weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical rock.
You know, I heard before that Bret Hart said he could wrestle a mop and make it look good, and I plan to up the ante. So absolutely, hell yeah, I'd wrestle a rock. How big is the rock?
I would say it's about the size of a shoe.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah, we're putting together a 5-star banger in Tokyo.
Hell yeah. Well, just for context, there's a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
What?
Yes.
Yo, that's insane. Who was it?
Psycho Mike.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that shit up. That is crazy. They wrestled for how long?
2 weeks.
That is impressive. That is wow.
I can send you the match. No spoilers.
Yeah, actually, dude, send it to my Instagram because that's fucking nuts.
Yes, I will. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
You know, in 5 years, I hope that I've been world champion somewhere. In 5 years, I'd like to see myself have at least been signed to a developmental contract somewhere, or at least have been, you know, in 5 years, I want to have a serious contract, or I want to be seriously booked to where I'm not working a regular job and I'm not worried about, you know, minimal things, normal things, right? In 5 years, I want to be out of the country. I want to be wrestling, you know, in other countries like Germany. I want to be regularly featured outside of, you know, the parameters in which I am now. And that's not an offense to anywhere that books me now or that shows me off now, but like I want to have more than just that, because I feel like if my prestige grows, the bookings that I take at these places will grow. And it means more than just, hey, this guy who you see all the time who hasn't been anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Smashing Skulls and WXW.
Hey, man, first stop in the Germany tour is WXW.
I mean, yeah, it's the place to be.
Nope. There's also, I believe it's a GFW or GWF. That's another place I want to go.
There's a few promotions in Germany, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, know a couple people
Absolutely.
in Germany. Until then, what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off you as a pro wrestler?
Some of my matches that have really, I guess, shown off what I can do would be my first match against Bull Madrid. That was a really nice, fun opportunity there. My match against Rex Mori, that was always fun. Recently, I haven't had that many singles matches. The Gary J one was fun, but it was more of a brawl. But definitely one to check out. Check out that one. Check out the Masada one. Akira and Masada versus me and Matt Lockett, Matt Ward Pro, one of the best promotions that I've ever worked for personally. Other good matches to check out. Check out me versus Prince Alexander in a 10 chair shot match. Ironically, one of my more favorite matches. Me versus Desi Moose at Baracho Mystery Vortex, I believe. Me versus Brick Savage at HOT. Me versus Dmitry Alexandrov. At better yet, me and Mo Kelly versus Dmitry Alexandrov at Don't Trust Anyone. Oh, no, at May the Force Be With You. And then check out me and Travis Cuddy and Mo Kelly take on the Exiled at Don't Trust Anyone. You know, just a wide variety of different things that I do there.
Oh, yeah. And if those matches are on YouTube, I will grab a few of them and put them in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox.
Absolutely, yeah. That's where pretty much all those matches are. Oh, also check out me versus Kane Carter, and if you want to have a good laugh, me versus Chase Burdick. That's just funny.
Yeah, check them out. If you haven't seen them, want to see them, want to re-see them after this interview. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
All right, let's do it.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Samoa Joe.
Worst wrestler.
Kevin Federline.
I will accept that answer. Your main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Gunther.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
CM Punk, This Fire Burns, or Samoa Joe when he first showed up at TNA. Simon Says by Pharaoh Munch.
Okay. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
Alive and well.
we would have also accepted tastes great on toast. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
It's a fruit. Is it a fruit? It's a vegetable.
Is that your final answer?
No, I'm going to say it's a fruit.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You are correct. It is indeed a fruit.
Yep. Too obvious to be a vegetable.
It has seeds. Tomato logic.
Good job.
New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Depends on who your fan base is.
So it depends
on who your fan base is.
So wrestling fans compared to Gunos.
Yeah, man. Yeah, really, honestly. It's sad that it's like that, but I mean, the people that pay to see you are going to pay one portion of their money for your presentation. And if they pay for your butt cheeks, man, then I mean, listen, hey, it's your choice on if that's what you choose to keep doing. But if that's your fan base and that's what you're selling, you better sell that butt.
And you got to give the people what they want.
You got to get the people what they want. I'm just glad that they ain't never been what they wanted from me.
Well, from what you've told me, maybe a couple of people have.
Yeah, but they're not paying for that. Like, you know, that's a separate situation.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
I don't think that's ever happened in my life.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this.
Wow. What? Hey, hold on, man. You made me sound crazy. Yo. Oh, wow. Damn. Shout out Darby.
Shout out to Darby. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me, Lou.
Thank you for having me, James. It's been a treat, man. I've had a hell of a time.
Me as well. Once again, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah. On social media, you can go to Instagram. You can find me at Uncle_Lue. That's ONKEL_LUE. Once again, Facebook mainly for bookings, but that's Lue Cameron. I haven't had an X yet, but when I make an X, it'll probably be underscore. It'll probably be Uncle Lou with an underscore again. However, just watch my IG, and I will definitely link it there. The other place where you can check me and all the Paradigm members is going to be Paradigm in 5 on IG, and Lue Cameron on YouTube for anybody that's interested.
And DM you for merchandise.
Absolutely. DM me for merchandise, and always keep a lookout on the links because you never know when one might change, and you might see one that has a a link to where you can just buy it. And you ain't got to talk to me no more.
Oh yeah. And you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Buy a damn shirt.
Mm-hmm. You heard the man. Buy the damn shirt.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Lue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Is that good?
For our special guest Lue Cameron, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling Wit
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.